Hello, I'm Linda Austin, and thank you for joining us for the Essence of the Week for September 11th, 2011. I am the light. The light is surrounding me. The light is transforming me. The light is protecting me. Divine love is flowing around and through me, solving and dissolving all situations for the good of all. A higher power is in charge of my life, and only good can come through me. My mind is open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening right now. I consciously choose to raise my vibration to a place of truth and light. Yes, you know, the channel has spoken this week of harvest, of autumn, of fall, of a season's change. And by now we feel that all of you should be aware of the metaphor of the change of the seasons. The example that nature, the universe, God gives you of the cycles of life and learning and love. You are now entering into what is called the harvest time, the fall, the autumn, the changing of the seasons, the preparation for winter. And yet, rather than think of it as, oh goodness, winter is coming, which is what makes some people dread the autumn, there is, for many of you, a great sense of satisfaction over what you have accomplished over the last few months. It is, it's based in the agricultural ethic of you plant your crop in the spring, you service it during the summer, and you harvest it in the fall. And if you have done your job well, and if the gods, so to speak, have smiled on you with the right amount of sun and the right amount of rain, and the seed that you have planted hasn't rotted, you are gifted with a harvest that is a representation of the effort that you have put in co-creating with the universe. You know, we would say that farmers are the original co-creators because they do the work. They put the seed in the ground, and then they trust that the universe, that God, will bless them. It's a co-creation. And so in many ways that is what you have been doing over the last few months. You have been preparing yourselves. You have been creating a place for learning. You have planted the seeds, and now you are harvesting what you have seen manifesting in your lives. It's important to remember that this was a co-creation. You could not have done it without the universe helping you. And the universe could not have created this if you were not open to it. And so moving forward, this is what we want you to remember. Working together with God, the one, the all that is, the universe, whatever name you give it, and the name we would give it is love. Working together with love, you create the harvest. Yes, it's important to look back at what have you done in your lives that's different. How have you grown? How have you changed? This is your harvest. It's important to look at it. It's important to recognize it. It's important to not ignore it or leave any of it in the field, so to speak. Harvest all of it. Bring it into yourself, the understanding. These are the changes I've made. These are the ahas and the awarenesses that I have gathered over this past year. And I am going to gather them to myself. I'm going to gather my wisdom and be with it and explore it and look at it and learn from it over the next few months. Because we tell you, as we have told you repeatedly over the last 3 months, The work is done. The work is done. It's now time to live from the place that you are in. Live from the place of knowing that you have achieved and accomplished. Are there still things to learn? Of course. But you now have come to a place where it is important that you understand that you are being called to show up in the world, no longer as the beginner, as the apprentice, no longer as the primary school student. You are now students who are teachers. You are now graduates who are going out into the world to extend your wisdom, to add to it. But you are expected to be active in your world. You are expected to be contributors to the love that is out there. You can no longer sit back and say, I'm not ready. You can no longer sit back and say, I have nothing to say. You can no longer sit back and say, I don't know what's expected of me. Because you have reached the point where it's time to stand up and say, I know who I am. I know what I'm here to do. And I am now about my Father's work. This is about stepping into the world as the human being you came here to be. It's about forgiving yourself for any mistakes, as you would label them, that you have made, and looking at the harvest of how remarkable you are, how wise you are, how aware you are, and how eager you are to increase all of that. This is the time to celebrate what you have accomplished and rest in that place for a while, and then begin to plan what's next for me. Where do I go on my next journey of exploration, of learning, of sharing, but always, always taking forward with you what you have gathered in this last period of harvest. Yes, we will close.